Heyo everybody and welcome back to another Binding of Isaac top 10 video. Today we're looking at the top 10 Brimstone synergies. I've gotten this one suggested to me a large multitude of times, so I figured it was finally time to do it. No, I'm not talking about sulfur, which is technically literally what brimstone is, and I'm not talking about one half of the famous song from Disney's Mary Poppins, Brimstone and Treacle. We're talking about the powerful Hell Laser found in Devil Deals, in the Binding of Isaac Flash game, and also Rebirth. We'll be seeing what the best synergies are with Brimstone in the current version of the game, and the kind of stupidly powerful stuff it can do. Let's be fair, this is a top 10 item in the game, so you already know the synergies are going to be there. Once again, this is my list of top 10 synergies, and you may disagree. That's okay, just let me know what you think or what I missed in the comments down below. Let's hop right in. Caution, you're screwed if you take this. Another installment of the caution list, these are synergies that are really not fantastic with Brimstone. You're probably thinking, wow, there's actually things that are bad with Brimstone? Yes, there are, so let's look at them. Soy milk. Surprisingly enough, soy milk finally doesn't make it in as a good synergy. Brimstone soy milk is not necessarily detrimental to a run, but it really isn't very good. It will allow you to damn near tap shoot your brimstone laser, but the damage it does is just very minuscule, and it takes a lot of time to clear out enemies. It also then increases your chances of getting hit, because I find that aiming brimstone can sometimes be a bit more difficult while still dodging, so unexperienced players may struggle here. There's definitely much better synergies out there. My reflection. Man, is this one horrible. I had the displeasure of getting this synergy very early on when playing Isaac, and I've hated it to this day. When you move around while firing with this synergy, the beam will go in the opposite direction in which you moved. That means that for your brimstone laser to go where you want it to, you essentially have to stand completely still while fighting. Now there are some people that will be good enough to control this and use it to their advantage, but in all reality, most normal people are going to understand what I'm saying here and accept that this is a bad synergy. Honorable mentions. Tiny Planet. I feel bad that I keep on including these kinds of synergies in my list, but this is primarily here just because it looks cool. It was a top 10 synergy in top 10 Tiny Planet synergies, totally not a shameless plug, but like seriously, the brimstone beam goes around your head. It's also practical because you can use that to deal extra damage to close enemies, but really it just looks cool. It's worth mentioning just even for that. Mom's Knife. There's honestly a lot of people that are going to just simply disagree with me for not putting this into the top 10, but it's not as fantastic as you think. It is easily one of the coolest looking synergies in the game, since it will fire out like 20 knives out of your body after your initial mom's knife, but those knives don't do as much damage, and it's really just a great cosmetic synergy. The way it looks is enough to put it in this video, but it is also useful. Loki's Horns. Normally this is the kind of synergy that would make it onto a list since it has the potential to be incredible, but we're talking about a top tier item in Brimstone, people. With an incredibly high luck stat, this becomes Krampus's head without the horrible spinning every time you fire Brimstone. It has the ability to be an absolute top 10 synergy for Brimstone, but it relies on the outside source of luck on a run, a stat that you just sometimes can't get. I have to be picky in this top 10 because of how good Brimstone is, but keep this synergy in the back of your head because it can be so stupidly good. Top 10. Number 10, Angelic Prism. I love the fact that this item has been making it into a lot of my top 10 synergy videos. Thought is one of those items that is never really incredibly great, but it has so many interesting synergies, including this one here. Whenever the brimstone beam hits it, 4 colorful beams of brimstone fly around the room and it can absolutely decimate enemies in the room. When you combine it with other synergies like homing tears or rubber cement, this is a god tier synergy. Alone, it's still great, but let's be fair, we're talking about Brimstone here. These are all going to be great. This one is just like C tier on the great Brimstone list. Number 9, Anti-Gravity. This is a synergy that I feel like a lot of people will end up disagreeing with me on, but it can still be incredibly good. Anti-Grav makes Brimstone a bit harder to use, but it can be much more rewarding when used well. Being able to place little tiny black holes of brimstone around the room that then fire out can deal massive amounts of damage to near stationary enemies and also decimate enemies that chase you down. It does need an okay tier stat to be highly effective, but overall it's fun and unique. I feel like it'd be wrong to not showcase this anyway in here, since it is a pretty cool Brimstone synergy. Number 8, Lump of Coal. I'm going to be completely honest with you, this is my favorite Brimstone synergy because it's so simple and it's so highly effective. Since Lump of Coal makes your tiers do more damage the further they are from you, why not utilize it with an item that relies on you using its infinite range? No matter what, your Brimstone Beam is going to do more damage than it was going to do, and in most cases, a lot more than it was going to do. It's a Tim Duncan synergy. Simple, but amazing. Number 7, Sad Bombs plus Dr. Fetus. I'm allowed to be picky with where I put double synergies because Brimstone is so good. It's hard not to put this on the list though. Even though it technically changes your tiers to no longer be Brimstone and instead be Dr. Fetus, Brimstone is still involved, so I can justify this. It's crazy good. Firing out an infinite number of sad bombs that explode into brimstone beams around the room is stupidly powerful and incredibly fun. Combined with things like homing tiers or pyromaniac, this is a game-winning synergy without any chance of a loss. The only reason it's this low on the list is because it requires 2 items. Like I said, hi, I'm picky. Number 6, Rubber Cement. I mean, you knew this had to be in here. It's an incredibly fun item on its own, and added to Brimstone it continues to be fun. Having your Brim Beam bounce off walls is super good and can deal a bunch of damage to enemies. I will say it's better when combined with other items like, Tammy's head, but on its own it's still an honorable member of this list and is very good. Number 5, Epic Fetus. Alright, let's just cut out the middleman of the Dr. Fetus Sad Bomb synergy and just make this one do it all. Every missile that you shoot with Epic Fetus will explode into a Sad Bomb's Brimstone style shot that decimates enemies in the room. Not only is Epic Fetus a powerful item on its own, but these 2 items alone give what is one of the most powerful synergies in the entire game. The only reason one like this isn't number 1 is because I honestly just don't like Epic Fetus as an item, and I think it's a bit boring to play with, similar to Mom's Knife. Number 4, Ludovico Technique. I love me a good Ludo synergy. We definitely saw this in the top 10 Ludo synergy video, and we'll cover it again here. Ludo Brimstone is legit. We have a giant Brimstone circle that decimates all enemies and bosses that touch it. It barely requires any work since the circle covers a large majority of the screen, and it's just incredibly satisfying to watch it melt everything around it. Combined with a synergy like homing tiers, you actually legitimately will never see enemies in a room. It'll just be the sound of doors opening. It's also pretty neat because on Curse of Darkness floors, the majority of the room is lit up by your Brimstone circle, so the curse barely even affects you. Number 3, Tech X. So why have that giant circle be stationary in the room when we can fire out a ton of those circles that decimate everybody? I love Tech X, and this is arguably one of its best synergies as well. I'm not even going to tell you what other items this goes really well with because I've said it in like the past 3, but I promise you that this is powerful and it's another very satisfying thing to watch. It's also pretty fun combined with soy milk as you can get more shots out that fill the screen. Number 2, Spoonbender. We've been skirting around this one the entire time. This is a top tier Brimstone synergy. Having your beam home around the room and lock onto enemies to deal a full Brimstone's worth of damage is ridiculously powerful and incredibly fun to watch. Combined with most other synergies on this list like Rubber Cement, Ludo, Tech X, and even the number 1 synergy, it shows how fun homing tiers can be with Brimstone. And I mean, hey, did I mention that it looks dope as hell? Number 1, Tammy's Head. I think you all knew this was going to be here. This is what everyone dreams of getting on a Brimstone run, and it happens a lot more than anyone would think. Being able to spew out some stupid amount of Brimstone beams out of your body every single room is just so stupid, and it decimates everything. Upon picking it up, you could probably finish the entire run in the next 5 minutes. It's easily top 5 in the most overpowered synergies in the game, and it's clearly number 1 on this list. Brimstone is one of those items that everyone knows is one of the most powerful in the game, but it's even more powerful when you unlock its true potential with some of its amazing synergies. Hopefully this helped you see what items to target on your Brimstone runs to decimate the game and make your life significantly easier. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other top 10s you want to see in the comments down below. I've got some interesting ideas for videos planned soon. Be sure to check out the modded Road to 1,000,000% series. It's a fun series that focuses around teaching the game from scratch, while also looking at amazing modded synergies. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!